Hey guys, I don't know if I mentioned this at the start of the video, but all the credits go to the disciple of pain. I don't know how to say his name, but he's the author of this What If I'm reading. So I will leave the link to it in the description. Okay, so let's start the What If now. Hi guys, welcome to part 1 of What If the Nine-Tailed Ceiling Was Incomplete. So let's start the What If. Oh, and by the way, before I start the What If, I'm if you did not watch the last video I made, I'm not going to continue the What If Obito traveled back in time series. This is gonna be, and I promise I will continue this series till I complete it. Oh, and this series is also made by the disciple of pain. I'm going to leave the link to this What If in the description. All credits go to him. Okay, let's start the What If. Such a wonderful thing is Sirkin. These were the thoughts of Uchiha Madara as he sat in a tree examining a shuriken in the moonlight. Such a small weapon, yet so deadly. It flies through the air and strikes the enemy, forever loyal to whoever holds it. Yes, the stars are beautiful, but not quite so as this one. Oh, to be so far away, a star in the sky, a shuriken in the night. But what it does is far more miraculous than its shining appearance. Why this little shuriken could take over the world, and all it needs is a guiding hand. I think mine will do. Lazily he threw the shuriken like the star it was named to shone in the night, flying through the sky, heading straight towards its target. And as loyal as he said, it struck Namikaze Minato, removing him of his four fingers. Gah! Minato suddenly cried, suddenly paling. No. He watched in horror as the QB stood before him. The Shinigami appeared and sealed the part of the QB inside him, and the rest inside Naruto! Minato cried as his soul was removed from his body. A small baby lay in the grass, a wrapped seal on his stomach. Minato! Gamabunta yelled. After a few seconds, no reply. He sighed. Sorry, kid. He disappeared in a puff of smoke, leaving the baby in the hands of Nanbu, who appeared. Back in the tree, Madara stood up, the moonlight shining off his orange mask. Now let's watch, he said, disappearing. There he is! Get him! Uzumaki Naruto ran through the alley, pursued by angry street vendors. What's the matter? He asked, grinning. Ever hear a free sample? He came to a sudden stop. He hit a dead end in the alley. He's trapped! Naruto turned to face the mob. He grin maintained. Stop smiling like that, one of them ordered. Get him. All of them ran, intent to beat him, but Naruto kept grinning. As they reached him, he leapt into the air and landed on one of their shoulders, somersaulting right back off and onto the rooftop. Too easy, he said, walking away from the crowd, who were shaking their fists at him. Naruto, what did you do now, Naruto-kun? Naruto grinningly turned to his head, smiling innocently. I didn't do anything, Iruka-sensei. Honest, Iruka raised an eyebrow. Naruto, he said, I'm very proud of you mastering the shadow clones and all. But don't you think now you are going to get your head banned? You should be a little more grown up. Nope, Naruto said, running off. What? Hey Naruto! Iruka yelled, sighing. So disrespectful, he said. Damn Naruto. Naruto ran across the roofs, giggling madly. When Iruka was out of earshot, He leapt back down to street level. Running nearby, crashed into a girl, but managed to dodge her. The girl growled back as he rounded a corner. Damn Naruto, she thought. Why doesn't he watch where he's going? The girl whipped her head forward, pink hair flying. She walked off angrily. Naruto ran up the stairs to his apartment, his grin slightly smaller. He opened the door, went inside, taking his jacket off and walking to his mirror. He looked up at himself in the mirror and grinned. He liked his new headband. It was shiny. The next day, Haruno Sakura walked to the academy, worrying about what team she would be put in. What if I'm not strong enough? She thought. I'm the first person in my family to try to become a ninja. I have to be a good kunoichi, or I'll never be accepted. Sibling there, she saw a familiar face, Yamanaka Ino. Hey Sakura, she said, walking alongside her. Nervous about what team you will be put in? Not at all, Sakura lied. Why are you? What are you doing? Wait, no, sorry. Why? Are you? Why should I be? I'm the second best, so they'll probably put me next to my beloved Sasuke. You're not the second best, and he's not your beloved, Sakura yelled, glaring at Ino, who laughed. You know, I'm kidding, Sakura, she said. Sasuke's too depressing for me. He's not depressing, Sakura explained. Damn it, Ino. Why do you keep playing these mind games with me? 'Cause it's fun, Ino replied. How did you? She asked. Ino winked and gave her a peace sign. Mind reader no jutsu, she said. My dad just taught it to me. Great. Just what I need, Sakura grumbled. Someone invading my thoughts. Ino laughed cruelly, saying that nod's gonna make me stop. Sakura groaned angrily. Why was Ino so determined to annoy her? She decided to speed up. Maybe she could lose her. She started walking faster, but Ino just met her speed. A sweet smile on her face. Sakura tried to going faster until she was almost running. Ow! Sakura fell to the ground painfully. Ouch, she said, before blinking. A hand reached down to help her, which she accepted gratefully. The person pulled her up, and when she was on her feet, about to thank the person, she blinked. Naruto? You should watch where you're going, he told her. Sakura fumed, remembering that just yesterday he almost bumped into her. Naruto grinned broadly as he ran off, kicking up a dust storm. Hey, cough cough. Don't kick dust in my face, Sakura yelled. Naruto ran through the crowds, neatly avoiding bumps into people. Sakura was cute. He ran to the academy, wanting to beat a certain someone there. He passed Shikamaru, who raised a hand to greet him. Hey Naruto-kun, what are you in such hurry for? He asked. Naruto just turned around, running backwards. You know, the usual. Troublesome, Shikamaru muttered. Lee! Naruto called out. A boy dressed in a green, just a little older than him, looked back. Good morning, my youthful friend, Lee said, giving him a thumbs up. Why are you in such a hurry? I want to get to the academy early. I want to begin my studies early, Naruto replied. Lee smiled broadly. For someone who wishes to better themselves, I cannot refuse, he said, picking Naruto on his back and running off. Lee, you're the fastest person I know, Naruto said. Aw, thank you, Naruto-kun. But there is at least one person faster than me, and that's Guy-sensei, Lee said proudly. Now go, Naruto-kun, and learn all you can, so that one day you and I may train. Thanks, Lee. See you later, Naruto said. Now, where haven't I poked him yet? He thought, hiding in the tree. The arm, the legs, his tummy. Oh, I know, his forehead. He waited in the tree, counting off the seconds in his head. Right on time, Uchiha Sasuke walked through the gates, hands in his pocket, a scowl on his face, just like every day. Sasuke leaned against the very tree and Naruto was hiding in, and just like every time, he'd close his eyes and rest. Naruto barely managed to suppress a giggle. Naruto barely managed to suppress a giggle as he watched Sasuke, slightly annoyed that his headband was blocking his forehead. But there was little bare skin he could work with. Three, two, Naruto-san, what are you doing? Naruto jumped from fright, falling off the tree. Abrame leapt around, landing much neater than Naruto. Sasuke opened a single eye. Dobe, he muttered, closing it again. Naruto grinned as he sat on the ground, crouching with his hands supporting him. Uh, I'm not doing anything, he replied innocently. Then why were you hiding from Sasuke-san with the mischievous look on your face? Shino asked. Sasuke scowled. Baka, he muttered. Naruto cocked his head, smiling at Sasuke. What's the matter, Sasuke? He asked. Did you forget my name? I'm Uzumaki Naruto. Sasuke glared at Naruto. Are you really this stupid? He asked. Naruto squinted and shook his head. No, Uzumaki Naruto, he spelled out. Sasuke growled and stormed off, muttering words Naruto had never heard before. What's a retard? Naruto asked Shino. It's something you say when you are very angry at someone who doesn't understand, Shino replied, looking at Sasuke's back, displeased with his classmate's words choice. Did I make Sasuke angry? Naruto asked, poking his head again. Don't worry about it. It doesn't take too much to a guy to make him angry. By the way, why don't you use suffixes when you say Sasuke? The way I see it, you two aren't even enough to use Kern. You don't think so, Shino? Shino suppressed a sigh. Naruto was too familiar with people. Never mind, he said. We should probably get into class. But Naruto wasn't paying attention. He spotted something interesting. Hello, Anbu! He yelled, frightening an Anbu hiding in the shadows of a building. The Anbu cursed and disappeared. Well, that was something, Shino remarked. Either that Anbu wasn't paying attention, or you're more skilled than you look. Naruto grinned broadly. Thanks. This time Shino really did sigh. The bell rang and he was glad of the chance to get away from this strange guy. They both entered their classmates not far behind. Naruto thought it was strange that Sasuke hadn't shown up yet, but forgot about it almost immediately. Instead he took a seat by the window. Sakura and Dino were running late. They lost track of time talking. When they realized the time, they both ran to the academy. It wouldn't do to be late for team selection. They both started running as they heard the bell rang. They were really in trouble now. They burst through the main gate and ran across the yard, crashing through the front door and sprinting to the classroom. They reached their door quietly and opened it, peeking inside. Phew! Ino sighed. Iruka senses late as well. Sakura scanned the room, searching for her special someone. She spotted him immediately and smiled excitedly. But was the person sitting next to him? Naruto! Ino Sakura growled. How dare you sit like that? Sasuke was sitting at his usual spot at the window, leaning forward with his fingers intertwined in front of his mouth. Next to him, Naruto was sitting exactly in the same spot, Naruto was sitting in the exact same position, scowl and all. Who does he think he is copying Sasuke? Sakura left Ino and as he stormed over to Naruto. Get out of the way, she ordered. Naruto ignored her and glared back at her. Chun, that's it. Sakura pulled her hand back and hit Naruto across the head. Gah, what the hell's the matter with you? Naruto demanded. But something was wrong. That wasn't Naruto's voice. Sakura stared in horror from Naruto to Sasuke. Naruto frowned and looked at Sasuke. His brow suddenly shot up. What the hell? He exclaimed, staring at Sasuke. As a puff of smoke appeared, revealing another Naruto. The first Naruto blinked and looked at his hands. He quickly formed a hand sign, and from the puff of smoke, the real Sasuke appeared. How did you do that? Sasuke demanded, glaring at Naruto. How the hell did you do? Forged Henjin no Jutsu, he declared happily. Sakura and Sasuke stared in shock. Sakura was the first to recover. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Sasuke-kun. I didn't know it was you. But Sasuke wasn't listening. He leapt up to Naruto and grabbed his jacket. How did you put a jutsu like that on me without my noticing? He demanded, pulling Naruto in close, who was still grinning. It was easy, Naruto replied. A shinobi of your skill has a lot of unfocused chakra. The technique's part ninjutsu and part genjutsu. It places the hinge on you, then subtly sends messages to your brain telling your chakra system to keep the hinge going. Everyone within earshot stared at Naruto with shock and disbelief. Oh my god, Sakura thought. Is Naruto secretly a genius? It was then that Iruka came in classroom and told everyone to sit down. Sasuke glared at Naruto before taking a seat. Sakura sat in the middle, nervously looking between the two. Sasuke was wearing his cowl again and Naruto was grinning happily, as if the situation had never happened. Iruka stood in front of the class, flicking through some papers. All right, he said, looking at the class. All of you have passed your exams. Now you are eligible to become Genin ranked shinobi and Kunoichi. Why did he say Kunoichi like that? Why, Sakura wondered. Was he about to forget? Tomorrow you will be introduced to your Jonin team leader, who will take it from there, Iruka continued. For now, I'll tell you what team you have been put under. Iruka started calling out names, telling those people what team they belonged to. Some were happy, some weren't, but almost everyone in the room was just waiting for their name to crop out and wasn't paying attention to anything else. And now Team 7, Iruka said. Haruno Sakura? Sakura said, looking up, brows raised. Uchiha Sasuke. Yes, Sakura cried, throwing her fist into the air. Sasuke just scowled deeper. Sakura sat back down and gave Ino the peace sign. Ino smirked at her. Wait for it, she muttered, tapping her head, pointing at Iruka. And Uzumaki Naruto. No! Inner Sakura cried. Naruto just smiled happily. When Iruka had finished and was about to dismiss them, Sasuke spoke up. Why have I been put in a team with these weaklings? He demanded. Well, you did the best in the exams overall, Iruka said. Sakura-chan scored the second highest in the written exam, but didn't do so well in the practical exam. And Naruto-kun failed the written exam, but scored the highest in the practical exam. What? Sasuke asked. At the practical exam, this dope failed. I scored the highest with Shino-san behind me. Actually, because Naruto-kun scored so low in the practical exam, I allowed him to sit it again. He passed the exam in 15 seconds. Everyone in the room gasped. 15 seconds? It has taken Sasuke 37 seconds to finish the exam. How could Naruto have done it so much faster? They questioned. Iruka left the classroom and Sasuke fell back into his seat, disbelief on his face. The bell rang and the class began to file out the room. But Naruto climbed out the window instead. He found his favorite spot on a grassy patch and sat down on it, watching birds and butterflies fly about. He started humming a tune to himself. One he was making up, he went along. Hey, Naruto said, his head turned, surprised to see Sasuke standing in the shadows of the tree behind Naruto. Hi Sasuke, he said, smiling widely. How did you finish the exam in 15 seconds? Sasuke asked, not taking his eyes off Naruto. What exam? Naruto asked. Sasuke's eyebrows twitched in annoyance. The practical exams, he replied. Kage, oh that, Naruto said, making a hand sign. Kageboshin no jutsu. Now next to him, an identical copy of Naruto appeared, sitting in the same way. Sasuke stared at the clone. A Boshin technique, but they don't have a... Sasuke's brows shot up as he realized this clone had a shadow. How does he? Sasuke asked, surprised. Naruto grinned and pulled out an apple, tossed it to the clone. Thanks, the clone said, biting in onto it. The clone then gave the apple back to Naruto before disappearing. Naruto smiled dreamily. Yep, this apple's ripe, he declared, eating it. Sasuke's shocked expression maintained as Naruto ate his apple. What was with this guy? So, you managed to pass the exam fast because there was more than one of you? Sasuke asked. Ah, not bad, he said before turning serious again. Teach me. Naruto finished his apple, leaving the core off to the birds. He stood up and faced Sasuke, a smile on his face. How much chakra you got? So he asked. Sasuke blinked. How much chakra? He repeated, frowning. He made a seal and focused his chakra. Naruto cocked his head as Sasuke did this. I can't tell how much chakra you have through that, Naruto said. Then how? He asked. Naruto kept smiling and then disappeared. What? Sasuke exclaimed, whipping his head around to try and find Naruto. He felt a sudden impact on the back of his knees and fell forward, losing his balance. Before he could defend, Naruto was behind him as he wrapped his arms around Sasuke's neck, putting him in a sleeper hold. Come on, Sasuke, you can do better than this, Naruto encouraged, smiling. Sasuke struggled to break Naruto's grip, but was ineffective. A few seconds later, Sasuke lost it. Sasuke lost consciousness. Naruto laid Sasuke on the ground and sat beside him. Now he's really out of it, Naruto said, his smile fading. It looks like he's taking a nap. He jumped up and left Sasuke there, knowing he'd wake up in a few seconds anyway. Sakura was sitting on a bench at the park drinking from a box of orange juice. She was just daydreaming about Sasuke when the real thing came into view. Hey Sasuke-kun, she said brightly. You want to sit with me? Sasuke stopped by her, looking at the pink-haired girl. Alright, he said. Sasuke is so cool, Sakura thought. Sorry about what I said earlier. You are good with chakra control. I shouldn't have implied you are weak. Sakura blushed. That's alright. I'm actually kind of glad I've got to be put in the same team as you. Why is that? Sasuke asked. Well, what do you think about having Naruto in our team? I hate it, Sakura exclaimed, suddenly confident. I can't believe they put a selfish idiot like him in our team. Sasuke frowned at her. What's wrong with him? He asked. He's nothing but a worthless brat, Sakura replied. He doesn't care about anyone but himself. He's always causing trouble for people, then lies by saying he didn't do it. If he had parents, they'd be ashamed of him. You, Sasuke said, shaking more and more. Sakura was beginning to get scared. Sakura leaned too close to her, so her noses were almost touching. A puff of smoke appeared and revealed Naruto to be sitting where Sasuke was, but he looked terrified. His eyes were red with black slits where his pupils should be, and Sakura could swear his teeth looked sharper. She recoiled from fear, wondering what was about to happen to her. Naruto lifted his hands, his nails long and sharp. Naruto-san, I'm sorry. I didn't mean any of it. But Naruto wasn't paying attention. He spread his fingers and grabbed his own hair, looking down. Gah! He screamed in anger and pain. Sakura was even more terrified than before. Naruto stopped screaming and looked up at her, glaring. But his eyes were no longer red. They were blue again. He stood up and walked away. Sakura found herself shaking, unable to take her eyes off Naruto. At the end of the road, he looked back at her, a sad expression on his face. Then he rounded the corner and was gone. Naruto, Sakura thought. Did what I say really hurt that bad? Am I really what you said I am? She was surprised when she felt a tear roll down her cheek. I'm so sorry, she thought. Naruto walked down the lonely street, kicking a stone across the ground. The sun was sitting behind him, casting his shadow long down the street. As Naruto watched his shadow, he was sure he all saw it take the form of a fox, even if it was for a second. I almost hurt her, he thought. But why was she saying those things? He could hear stutters closing as he passed. He tried to ignore it, but every snapping sound felt like a pinch to his gut. Did people really hate him that much? Dad, he called out, are you there? He paused for a second before giving a smile. Right, he said. Can I ask you something? Again, he paused as if waiting for an answer. Well, there's this girl. She's in my team. She's really pretty, and I like her. But for some reason, she doesn't like me. What should I do? I don't know. Probably get in bad trouble, he replied. Maybe I can change her mind. Another pause. This time it lasted longer. Thanks, Dad, Naruto said. He's smiling widely. You're the best. He left the street, turning to the entrance of his apartment. As he climbed the stairs, Sakura peeked at him from the alley, a sad look on her face. Okay guys, so this is where I'm going to end the video now. I will upload the next part to tomorrow maybe. But if I won't upload the next part tomorrow, then I will probably upload it next Sunday. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and bye.